So, you want Surron X. So I'm gonna be going over the pros and the cons to the Surron. If you want to get it, if you want to get it for a friend, if you want to get it for your kid, you know, there's a lot of different situations you could be in. So I'm gonna just be going over everything and trying to make sure the Surron's a good purchase for you. So, first big thing about the Surron, it's cost. Surron in the US just jumped to about $4,600 with a 38 amp battery. You're gonna be paying at least $4,600 on Lunicycle. And Lunicycle is the best way to get these bikes. Well, online. If you want to buy your bike online, Lunicycle is the way to go. But if you're getting it in store, your area, you might have a bike shop that you can cop it from. So for me, I live in California. A little while from me, there's a bike shop called Bike Craze. So Bike Craze has well-priced bikes. They got 2023s right now, 38 amps. I'm not sure what the current MSRP is, but I got a 2022 Surron. I got one of the last 2022s. And mine's got a 32 amp. Alright, so as I was saying, I got my bike July of 2022, and I spent $4,600. I got it built. I just put it in my car and rode it the same day. But you can get the bike still in the box for $4,500, which with shipping and tax included, you're getting a good deal. Like, you don't have to pay for shipping or tax. It's just like $100 more than Luna if you didn't pay. I don't know. But local shops could be the play for you, because if you live in a less remote place, or like a, I don't know, if you have a bike shop near you, I would make sure you check the price. Because for me, that was definitely worth it. I saved like $450. But if you don't, Lunicycle is not the worst place. It's only like $400 extra. But when you get your bike, you have to make sure that, one, it's like a trusted, known website, which of course, like, you know, who are you buying your Surron for? If you're buying the bike for yourself and you have experience riding dirt bikes, e-bikes, you'll have a blast. Like, I'm out here chilling around near my house, riding my bike, having fun. I'm getting about the top speed of about like maybe a 110. You don't have to worry about switching gears. You don't have to worry about the only thing you got to do is bleed the brakes, charge the battery, get brake pads, you know, get brake pads every once, you know, maybe every couple months. I switched mine once, and I've had the bike for like 5 months, and that was just because I wanted better brake pads. They weren't even there. But I mean, what? I have new pegs, I have new bars. Like, I chose to do those. Like, you don't need that. I would recommend pegs though. So if you're gonna ask me, do I regret buying the Surron? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is the most fun I think I've ever had on a bike. Easily. Let's see. If you're planning on getting this for yourself, it is a blast. It is a blast, let me tell you. It's a tiny bike. It weighs 120 pounds. and it has mad acceleration. It doesn't feel like a bike like this should go this quick. Like, dude, I'm not gonna get any footage. It's all gonna be wet. Is it supposed to keep raining? I better go the other way. For the next hour? What the fuck? It doesn't even say it's supposed to rain. It's not even... That's annoying. I didn't think it would rain. Oh. Hell no. I lost all traction in the rear. I didn't even brake and I lost my whole rear. Alright, well, I was going to the trail, but guess not. But so, this bike is so much fun. You can bring it like practically anywhere. It's quiet, so like you're not gonna get... Alright, so I know I've been rambling on, but the point I'm trying to make is, if you're not able to ride a dirt bike where you live, this is a substitute. Like, you want to ride an e-bike, you don't want to ride like a little weak bike, which no one does, is the perfect substitute. Sidewalk demon, street demon. So, another question you might have is range. How far can you go? How fast can you go doing it? So, for me, I can go far on this bike. Like, if you stay in EP and you're just being really conservative, rolling most of the time, I have no question you can go at least 50 miles. If you're going full speed, running up the street, like hauling ass, doing wheelies, having fun, you'll get closer to maybe 20 to 25 miles if you're like pinned. But that brings me into my next point to talk about is speed. So when you get the bike out of the box, it'll go 32 miles per hour, and I'm sure you all know there's a governor on the bike to keep it from reaching its max speed. So 32 is the max you'll get without cutting the governor. As soon as you cut that little green wire right under here, you'll be going 50. If your bike's at 100% and you're going on maybe a little bit of a downhill, you'll go at least 50, no question. Like, it's so nice being able to keep up with traffic, because I came off the Super 73 ZX, which has a top speed of, when I got it, it went 28. Now it only goes like 26. But this thing just blows it out of the water. Like, you can keep up with traffic, like, you can go faster than traffic, which is so nice. Because on the Super 73, I had an issue keeping up with traffic, had an issue keeping up with anyone, really. I had friends with Surrons, they didn't really ride anymore. But my bike cannot keep up. But right now, I'm riding. So I started this at 80%. I've actually lost a lot of battery, but I haven't hauled my ass up and down. But I think that's because I didn't have the cells balanced. But I lost, what, 22% just from riding up here, which is what, maybe 6-8 miles, which I mean, be expected. But so my next segment is just cops. Do cops care? Like, that's a big concern for these bikes right now, because when they started, e-bikes had little to no information. Like, cops didn't know what they were. Some cops still don't even know what these are. But especially where I live right now, cops do not like these bikes. There's a group of kids who ride these bikes who just destroy shit, and they're, you know, they do bad shit, whatever. So it kind of ruins it for the people like who just want to ride, have fun, do wheelies, you know, whatever. Because they'll be going around, they'll be destroying jumps. They got mountain bikers that hate them, they got cops that hate them, you know. And so it kind of just makes one story for everyone. So that's, I mean, you've seen it on my TikTok, of course. Like, cops don't like these bikes, trail patrol doesn't like these bikes, you know. The thing is, as long as you're not being an idiot, the bikes are quiet. You're not going to draw any attention to you. Like, you don't really have to worry about people like seeing you, as long as you're not being like an idiot. So if you're being an idiot, yeah, you're gonna get in trouble. But so, like, if you're purposely going by cops doing wheelies and shit, like, they're gonna get mad. There's no question. Like, you know, as my good friend Dylan Thompson likes to say, he's not my good friend, but he's a funny guy. Keep loophole culture underground. So, if you don't understand that one, it just means don't be an idiot about it. If you're having fun on your bike, don't be an idiot. You don't need to flaunt to people, like, you don't have to be like an asshole to people. Just keep it on the low. There's a lot of people right now who are completely destroying the Surron name. Not everyone who hops on a Surron, they're gonna have this idea of who you are. And it's just sad, you know, because there's no questions asked. I mean, it's a privilege to be able to ride this bike. Like, when you're going just as fast as a dirt bike, ripping trails, like, but, you know, it's whatever. I mean, people are gonna always do what they want to do. Cops are closing down on the bikes, so it's not really a question of will cops care? They will, like, especially if you live around here. But with other places, like, I don't know, in Texas, cops don't give a shit. Like, all those Houston, like the Houston mega rides and that, nope, it didn't look like any cops cared. They haven't cracked down on them. They haven't had the issue like in California, because we had a huge ride out, maybe 100 something kids all riding these bikes, and just got swamped by cops. And then they just, like, you can't ride these bikes near the beach. Cops hate them. Like, there was just another video. There was some kid, his name, actually I want to keep his name private, but if you go in the comments of that video, you'll find it. But he was riding his Surron, getting chased by a motorcycle cop. And I haven't talked to him. I don't fully know the situation of what he was doing, but most of the time it's just for riding the bike, not doing wheelies, not like ruining, just riding. Just the fact that you have the bike gives them enough to chase you, because they treat them like motorcycles now, which sucks. It sucks. There's no questions asked. It sucks. So if you remember from my last video, I was riding just up here, made a right here. I'll go up there, I don't care. I'll go up there. And there was mad glare. Like, I could not see up this trail. There's a little bit of glare right now, but my goggles were totally, like, useless, really. The sun was shining down. I had dirty goggles, I just couldn't see. If you saw, my friend was in front of me. He saw the dude before I did, and he was pinning it down, like, what the f*** are you turning around for? And you couldn't really see it because I blocked the glare from my goggles, so I didn't do it for the camera. And I just did it really quick, just so, aw, it's all muddy. But I was just up there, we're riding up here, and he was just camping the top. Which I don't know why. We weren't even doing anything bad. We were just, I assume maybe it was just like unlucky that he was there. But I don't know. We turned around. He came down the trail after us, which is weird. But I mean, it's not like he could have caught us. He was in a car. I mean, he's more worried about getting down without busting his car rather than following us. But I mean, that just shows the situation. I mean, he might not have been trying to chase us. Maybe he was just trying to come down after doing something, but I don't know. So, if you were asking, if you were saying to yourself, cops don't care, they care. It doesn't matter if you're not doing anything. You, you could see on my other TikTok video, when I was just going around, the dude decided to stop. I mean, he was clearly going through. He was not planning on turning around until he saw me. But a huge part of that could be because I wear a full face helmet, and that's so I can put my camera on it. Because I can't film if I don't have a full face on. But it's all good. Bottom line is, cops do care. And it's unfortunate, it's annoying, but cops care. And the final thing is convincing. So maybe not the final thing, but another segment is convincing your parents to let you buy one. So I know this is an issue with a lot of kids, kids especially who don't ride dirt bikes, kids especially who come off like a Super 73 or like a Rad Runner and they just want to upgrade. So that's the big thing, is convincing your parents to let you buy one. Not even getting the money for one, convincing your parents to let you buy one. Like, I had all the money to get it, and it took like, I don't know, a couple months after I got all the money just to convince my parents to let me buy one. And I basically use the green wire, the governor, use that to your advantage. Because just make a deal with them. Say, I won't cut it, and just don't cut it. I mean, you're still gonna have a lot of fun on the bike, but of course you're not gonna get the top speed. It might be hard to keep up with kids who have a Surron, but it really isn't. Like, it's not very often you'll be riding just full speed the whole time. Like, doing wheelies, the max you're gonna be going is like, I don't know, but the max I can wheelie is like 40, so it's like you're catching up fine. Look at this sexy ass scooter. Who left this here? Who left this scooter here? This thing's sick. Alright, that's besides the point though. So, when you're trying to convince your parents, I had to make a whole ass like sheet trying to convince my parents to let me get one. Which, you know, sounds goofy, sounds funny, whatever. The bike's just so much fun. I've rode other people's before I got this one. It's wild how fun this thing is. Especially if you haven't rode dirt bikes. This thing is like nuts. It's like, it's the fastest thing you've ever rode if you haven't rode a dirt bike. But like, when I first rode one of these things, the acceleration, because I was so used to my Super 73, that's all I rode. I would wheelie the Super 73 and do that. Fastest thing I rode. I rode a Segway X260, and I mean, the Segway, that's a whole different story, Segway and Surron. But the gist of it is, Segway is the largest shareholder of Surron, so they can basically, they take Surron bikes and they slap their paint on it, they slap their stickers on it, and they sell them for $2,000 more, which is ridiculous. Never buy a Segway X260, do not ever buy one. But unless you're like hella rich and you just want the color, like, just know you're getting ripped off. But Yeah. And so some of the final things I can think of is size. So size of the bike. The bike weighs 120 pounds. I can lift it no problem. So it's not a question of can you lift it into your car, it's can you fit in your car. But so it's not too big. I would say, you know, it's probably about the size of a mountain bike. The wheels are just smaller on this bike. But another question is size, as in like the rider size. So I'm 6'1" and I'm scooted up all the way. I have this whole seat in the back. Like, I sit scooted up, I sit comfortably. The only thing is, when you're sitting on it for like, you know, like an hour or 2 hours, your legs will get like tired. Because you'll want to stretch out your legs, you want to, you know, the usual stuff. But it's really not too bad, because the bike is like good size, to be honest. For, like, I can sit all the way back here and have all this room, but I sit up here. It's more of an attack position. But it's really up to you how you want to sit on it. There's no question you'll have enough room. If you're like 6'5" or something, maybe seat extenders. But you should be good. So I really don't think that you could be too big for this bike. There's plenty of things you can do to make it bigger and, you know, fix it for yourself. And if you, like, let's say you weigh a lot, you can just get a little bit of a bigger sprocket in the back, a little less top speed, but it's, you know, it's probably worth it, to be honest, because torque on this bike is no issue. If you weigh anything less than like 160 pounds, it's mad torque. Like, from a standstill, the wheel will pop up for me. Maybe not right now though, because I'm on 47%, but let's see. Hey, no. Let's see. Will the wheel come up? Hey, no issue. That came up, that's crazy. I didn't think it would. So, if you're worried about size, you'll have no issue. I mean, the bike fits me. I'm like 6'1". I weigh 150 pounds, so I'm a skinny guy. But, you know, fits me all good. Woo! Windy. All right. So that's probably gonna be it. But really appreciate you guys watching. You know, if you do get a Surron, let me know down below where you get it from, how much you got it for. If you already have a Surron, was it worth buying? See y'all later.